during his late teens. As the horizon of adulthood loomed before him, Adrian set out on a quest to find meaning in the chaos of existence. He left behind the familiar landscapes of his childhood and ventured into the unknown, driven by a yearning to discover the hidden reservoirs of strength that lay dormant within him. His travels took him through bustling cities and serene countrysides, across wind-swept deserts and lush, verdant forests. Each new place presented him with challenges that were as diverse as the cultures he encountered. And each challenge was met with the determination to grow stronger and wiser. In the sprawling metropolis of Veridel, where the pace of life was frenetic and the lights never dimmed, Adrian found himself lost in the anonymity of the crowd. He realized that even in a place teeming with life, the inner void of self-doubt could persist unchallenged. It was in Veridel that he first encountered the art of meditation, a practice that taught him to find stillness amidst chaos, to listen to the rhythm of his own heartbeat, and to appreciate the silent spaces between his thoughts. Meditation became his anchor, a constant reminder that true strength emanates not from external validation, but from the quiet certitude that lies at the center of one's being. Years passed in a blur of experiences, each one etching its own mark upon Adrian's soul. He met mentors who imparted wisdom through gentle guidance, and he encountered friends who, despite their own struggles, offered him unconditional support. Among these friends was a spirited musician named Leela, whose laughter was like a burst of sunlight breaking through a cloudy sky. Together, they would wander through the city's hidden alleys, sharing stories and dreams as if each word were a note in a symphony of resilience. Leela, with her unwavering belief in the transformative power of art, inspired Adrian to pick up a brush and try his hand at painting, a pursuit that allowed him to express the inexpressible, and to capture the essence of his turbulent emotions on canvas. As the seasons changed, so too did Adrian's understanding of success. He came to realize that victory was not measured by the trophies of conventional achievement, but by the quiet satisfaction of knowing that one had faced their own fears and emerged stronger. His art, once a mere hobby, evolved into a medium through which he communicated the complexities of the human spirit, a dialogue between light and shadow, joy and sorrow, hope and despair. Every stroke of his brush was imbued with the wisdom of his struggles and the triumph of his inner victories. Yet, the road to self-discovery was never free of detours and pitfalls. There were moments when the ghosts of his past threatened to reclaim him, when the scars of old wounds reopened with a painful insistence that he was not yet ready to forgive himself. During one particularly harsh winter, when the nights were long and the cold seeped into his bones, Adrian faced a crisis that nearly shattered the fragile edifice of his newfound self-belief. The loss of a cherished friend, whose laughter had once filled the void in his heart, plunged him into a state of despair so deep that even the comforting ritual of painting could not dispel the darkness that enveloped him. In those bleak hours, when every breath felt like a battle against an invisible force, Adrian retreated into the sanctuary of solitude. He wandered through deserted streets, seeking solace in the silence that had once been his greatest ally. And he found himself grappling with the raw, unfiltered truth of his existence. It was then that he realized that the journey of overcoming oneself is not a linear path paved with unbroken victories, but a meandering trail dotted with both triumphs and setbacks. Each moment of despair was counterbalanced by an equal measure of hope, a hope that, though fragile, possessed the power to heal even the deepest wounds. With time, Adrian began to rebuild his inner world. He reached out to those who had once offered him kindness, and in the act of reconnecting, he rediscovered the strength that comes from shared vulnerability and mutual support. His friend Leela, whose own battles had taught her the value of empathy, stood by him during those dark days. Together, they embarked on a journey of healing that transcended the boundaries of conventional friendship. A journey that was marked by long conversations under starlit skies and quiet moments of introspection by a flickering fire. In those moments, the pain of loss was gradually replaced by the gentle warmth of acceptance. And Adrian learned that to truly overcome oneself is to embrace every fragment of the human experience, both the sorrow and the joy, the failure and the success. Emboldened by these experiences, Adrian eventually returned to his hometown, a place that now held a myriad of memories. Both bitter and sweet, he came back not as the lost, uncertain boy who had once gazed longingly at the horizon, but as a man who had weathered the storms of life and emerged with a profound understanding of his own resilience. The town, with its familiar faces and time-worn streets, welcomed him as one of its own. Yet, as he walked along the paths of his youth, he recognized that the person he had become was as different from his past self as the night is from the day. The lessons he had learned on his journey had reshaped his identity, and he now carried within him the wisdom that true victory lies in the courage to face one's inner demons and to transform them into the fuel that drives us toward a brighter future. In the years that followed, Adrian dedicated himself to sharing the insights he had gained through his own struggles. He became a mentor to those who, like him once, felt trapped by the invisible chains of self-doubt and fear. His humble studio, filled with canvases that told stories of perseverance, hope, and renewal, became a sanctuary for lost souls seeking guidance. Here, over cups of steaming tea and quiet conversations punctuated by thoughtful silences, he imparted the belief that every setback was an opportunity to rediscover one's inner strength, and every failure a lesson in humility. His words resonated with many, for they carried the weight of lived experience, and the gentle assurance that no matter how dark the night, the promise of dawn is inevitable. The Ember of Dawn. In a small town nestled between windswept hills and an ever-changing sky, there lived a young man named Adrian. His life, like the fractured light of dawn, was full of promise yet marred by challenges that threatened to dim the spark within him. Born to humble beginnings in a community where every smile was hard-won and every tear weighed heavily on the heart, Adrian's early years were marked by an endless series of obstacles. Each obstacle, however, became the stepping stone that would later pave the way to his ultimate transformation. Adrian grew up in a modest home that smelled of fresh bread and aged wood. His mother, a resilient soul with eyes full of quiet determination, worked tirelessly to make ends meet, while his father, a gentle yet stubborn man, had instilled in him the value of perseverance. Despite the hardships, Adrian's childhood was painted with moments of unexpected beauty. He would often spend his evenings beneath the vast canvas of twilight, listening to the whispers of the wind that told stories of distant lands and uncharted adventures. And it was during these moments that he first dreamed of a life beyond the confines of his small town. Yet, as the years passed, the reality of daily struggle began to cast long shadows over his youthful dreams. The promise of a brighter future was obscured by the harsh truths of poverty and the weight of responsibilities that seemed insurmountable. At school, Adrian was neither the brightest nor the most popular. He was a quiet observer whose thoughts ran as deep as the ancient roots of the towering oak in the town square. And although he carried within him a reservoir of potential, he was often crippled by self-doubt, a doubt that whispered incessantly in the silence of the night, urging him to accept the mediocrity that his circumstances had imposed. One autumn day, when the chill in the air was a tangible reminder of change, Adrian encountered Miss Evelyn, A teacher with eyes like polished amber and a spirit as fierce as the autumn wind, she saw in him a spark that was more than a mere flicker. And she nurtured that spark with words of encouragement and gentle challenges. "Adrian," she would say in her measured tone, "every trial you face is not a barrier, but a mirror reflecting your potential. You have within you the power to transcend every limit that life sets before you." Her words were seeds planted in the fertile soil of his heart. Seeds that would take root, and eventually bloom into a conviction that he was destined for more than the life he had known. The following years were a tumult of inner battles and external hardships. Adrian found himself at a crossroads where every decision felt monumental. And every step forward was accompanied by the heavy echo of his own uncertainties. In the silent hours of early morning, when the world was still draped in darkness, he would sit by the window and pen his thoughts in a battered journal, each word a cathartic release. Each sentence a small rebellion against the inertia of his doubts. The act of writing became both his solace and his means of self-discovery, allowing him to slowly piece together the mosaic of his identity. Adrian's journey was not one of instantaneous metamorphosis, rather. It was a gradual unfolding. A slow awakening that required him to confront the parts of himself he had long tried to hide. He battled the inner demons of fear and inadequacy that had been nurtured by years of hardship. Every moment of despair was met with a glimmer of hope, a hope that was as fragile as a candle flame yet as enduring as the mountains that bordered his town. There were days when the weight of the world pressed down upon him so fiercely that he questioned whether he had the strength to rise again. On such days, he would remember Miss Evelyn's words. And in that remembrance, he found the courage to continue, to persevere against the odds. In time, Adrian discovered that the true essence of overcoming oneself was not about conquering the external adversities that life threw at him, but about taming the tumultuous sea of emotions that raged within. He learned that every setback was not a defeat, but rather a lesson that shaped his character and refined his vision of what it meant to be truly free. The more he embraced the struggle, the more he came to understand that his journey was not defined by the hardships he endured, but by the manner in which he transformed those hardships into the stepping stones of a greater self. Adrian's own transformation was not an isolated phenomenon. His journey sparked a quiet revolution in the community. A movement of self-empowerment that rippled through the lives of those who had long resigned themselves to a life of quiet desperation. Neighbors who had once seen each other only as fleeting figures in the daily grind began to share their stories of struggle and triumph in these shared narratives. The collective spirit of the town was reborn, a spirit that celebrated both the beauty of resilience and the strength that comes from embracing one's vulnerabilities. In community centers and humble gatherings, the stories of loss and renewal wove together like the threads of an intricate tapestry, each one a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming adversity, the human spirit has the capacity to heal, to adapt, and ultimately, to soar. As autumn gave way to winter once again, Adrian found himself reflecting on the journey that had brought him back to this place, a journey that was marked by countless trials and the persistent, unwavering pursuit of a life lived fully and authentically. He understood that every moment of pain, every sleepless night filled with worry, had been a necessary part of the process. Each scar on his soul was a testament to the battles he had fought and the victories he had achieved, however small they might have seemed at the time. And so, as he sat by the window of his modest home, watching the first snowflakes dance in the pale light of dawn, he felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey itself, a journey that had taught him that the only true measure of success is the willingness to rise after every fall, to believe in oneself even when the world seems determined to prove otherwise. In the quiet of that early morning, Adrian's thoughts turned to the future, a future that, though uncertain, was filled with endless possibilities, he realized that the journey of overcoming oneself is not a destination to be reached, but a continuous evolution. A process of constant learning and growth that unfolds with every new day. Each sunrise was a promise. A gentle reminder that no matter how long the night, there is always the potential for renewal. It was a promise that filled his heart with hope and ignited within him the resolve to keep moving forward. To keep daring to dream even when the path ahead was shrouded in mist. In the final analysis, Adrian's life was a testament to the power of the human spirit, a spirit that, when nurtured by love, resilience, and the unyielding belief in one's own worth, can overcome even the most daunting of challenges. His story is not one of unbroken triumphs, but a mosaic of moments both painful and beautiful. A narrative that reminds us that every hardship we endure is but a stepping stone on the path to becoming the person we were always meant to be. And so, in the soft light of that winter morning, as the world around him slowly awoke, Adrian resolved to continue his journey with an open heart and a steadfast spirit. Ever mindful of the lessons that life had taught him and the quiet power that lies within each of us to rise above our limitations. In the years that followed, the echoes of Adrian's journey continued to resonate in the lives of those he touched. His story, shared in hushed tones at community gatherings and inscribed in the vibrant hues of his canvases, became a beacon of hope for anyone who had ever felt overwhelmed by the challenges of life. Through his art and his mentorship, he reminded others that the true measure of our worth is not determined by the trials we face, but by the courage with which we confront them. Every moment of struggle is an invitation to grow. Every setback a call to explore the depths of our own resilience. As the seasons cycled once more and the town embraced another chapter of change, Adrian looked upon his past with both humility and pride. He recognized that his journey was far from over, that each day presented new opportunities to redefine himself and to help others find the light amidst their own darkness. His studio remained a haven of creativity and introspection, a place where dreams were nurtured and hearts were mended with the gentle reassurance that every ending carries within it the seed of a new beginning. And though the road ahead was uncertain, filled with both promise and peril, Adrian marched on with the steadfast belief that the human spirit, when guided by love and the unrelenting pursuit of truth, can overcome even the most formidable of adversaries. In a final moment of quiet reflection, as the sun dipped low on the horizon and cast long, wistful shadows over the landscape of his memories, Adrian penned one last thought in his journal, a thought that encapsulated the essence of his journey. Life, with all its pain and beauty, is a delicate balance of loss and gain. Every trial we endure, every moment of despair, is but a chapter in the story of our becoming. A story that is never truly finished but is always waiting for us to turn the page. And with that, he closed his journal, not with a sense of finality, but with the quiet anticipation of all the unwritten chapters that lay ahead, a future where every step, every fall, and every rise was a testament to the enduring power of the human soul. Thus, the tale of Adrian is one that continues to inspire. A living narrative of struggle and redemption that speaks to the heart of every human being. It is a reminder that no matter how insurmountable our challenges may seem, there exists within each of us the capacity to transform our darkest moments into the luminous threads of a story worth telling. A story that unfolds one deliberate, courageous breath at a time. In this journey of life, where the interplay of hardship and hope is the eternal dance of existence, we all share the same quiet yearning for redemption, a yearning that calls us to look within, to face our own shadows, and to emerge, time and again, Reborn in the light of our own resilience, Adrian's story is but one reflection of this universal truth. A reminder that in the tapestry of life, every thread of struggle is intertwined with the promise of renewal. Every pause marked by a semicolon is an invitation to gather strength for the next verse in our unfolding epic. For those who find themselves at the crossroads of despair and hope, may this narrative serve as a quiet testament to the power of perseverance. May it remind you that even in the loneliest hours, when the night seems unyielding and the path ahead shrouded in uncertainty, the dawn will come. And with it, a chance to rewrite the story of your life with courage, compassion, and an unwavering belief in the beauty of your own soul. And so, as you turn the page of your own journey, remember that every trial you face is not an end, but a gentle pause, a semicolon in the grand sentence of your existence, a pause that invites you to gather your thoughts, to breathe deeply, and to continue your story with renewed hope, knowing that the light of a new day is always just beyond the horizon. In the quiet spaces between our heartbeats and the silent echoes of our dreams, there exists an ember, a small, resilient flame that defies the darkness. It is the spark of determination, the gentle reminder that no matter how great the storm, our inner light remains unextinguished. Adrian's journey is a celebration of that very ember, a tribute to the countless souls who, in the face of overwhelming odds, have dared to rise above the limits of their own doubts and to embrace the boundless potential that lies within. It is a story that transcends the boundaries of time and place. It is a story that speaks to the heart of every human being, urging us to find beauty in our struggles and to honor the delicate balance between sorrow and joy, between failure and triumph. And as we continue our own journeys, may we remember that every semicolon in our narrative is not a full stop, but a pause, a moment to reflect, to gather strength, and to move forward with the quiet assurance that our best days are yet to come. For in the tapestry of life, every thread of pain is woven with strands of hope, every moment of despair is met with the promise of a new beginning. And so, with each deliberate pause, with every reflective semicolon, we write the next chapter of our lives, a chapter that is as rich, as vibrant, and as enduring as the human spirit itself.